Good evening, you're watching 7 at 7, the only news bulletin where we curate the day's top 7 stories for our viewers. Right before I take you through the headlines, viewers, I want to quickly connect to the numbers we are getting in terms of India's fight with COVID-19. Numerically, where do we stand? Let's quickly take you through the numbers. This is what it looks like, viewers, right now. Our total import of positive cases stand at 79,09,959 cases we've seen across the country till now. 1,19,014 deaths. Let's break it down state-wise. The state of Maharashtra continues to dominate with a total import of 16,45,020 positive cases. Maharashtra counts for 1/3 of the national COVID death toll at 43,264. Second is the state of Andhra Pradesh, where right now the total positive cases stand at 8,07,023 with 6,587 deaths. Karnataka is on the third position with a total positive caseload of 8,02,817 with 10,905 in terms of deaths till now. This is what it looks like numerically where India stands with its fight against COVID-19. Let me now. All right, just days before the crucial United States of America elections, heavyweights from United States of America right now are in India. What we are expecting anytime soon is our foreign minister meeting with his counterpart in America, Mike Pompeo. Dr. S. Jaishankar would be holding that meeting. We're getting in shots of that. We're going to cut across to that. Now, Foreign Minister S. Jaishankar, U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo holding bilateral dialogue. Earlier, the Defense Minister Rajnath Singh and his U.S. counterpart Mark Esper held a bilateral meeting. Sources said that a basic exchange and cooperation agreement is likely to be signed tomorrow. Sources also say that both the leaders discussed developments in Indo-Pacific region. These are live visuals that are filtering in of Dr. S. Jaishankar, India's External Affairs Minister, holding the bilateral dialogue with U.S. Secretary of State, his counterpart Mike Pompeo. All of this in the backdrop of the big U.S. presidential elections. Just days before that, two heavy weights where America is concerned. Close President Trump's aides, Mike Pompeo and Mark Esper, are in the country. These are visuals of Mike Pompeo and Dr. S. Jaishankar. They'll be holding talks very soon. These visuals are filtering in. Earlier on, like I said, Rajnath Singh, our defense minister, met his U.S. counterpart Mark Esper and held a bilateral there. Sources said that a basic exchange and cooperation agreement is likely to be signed tomorrow. Sources also say that both the leaders discussed developments in Indo-Pacific region, expansion of defense cooperation, intelligence sharing cooperation on Make in India. Chief of Defense Staff General Bipin Rawat and 3 service chiefs were also present in the meeting. All right, so that's what we said. All of this is taking place in the backdrop of the mega U.S. presidential elections, where 2 close aides of President Trump are in India talking business. Let's take a look on how the day panned out.
Next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this.
Days before U.S. presidential elections and amid a face-off between India and China along the line of actual control, 2 American biggies and President Trump's close aides, Mike Pompeo and Mark Esper, are in India for a high-level 2+2 ministerial dialogue. After ministers' bilateral meet on Monday, the third round of 2+2 dialogue with Defense Minister Rajnath Singh and External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar with their American counterparts will take place on Tuesday. The secretaries will begin their day by visiting the War Memorial and laying a wreath in honor of the fallen soldiers. They will then head to Hyderabad House for the all-important 2+2 ministerial meeting. So what's on the cards? The long-pending Basic Exchange and Cooperation Agreement, or BECA, could be finalized to further boost bilateral defense ties. Also on the agenda for the foreign and defense minister level talks would include regional security cooperation, defense information sharing, military-to-military interactions, and defense trade. Pompeo Esper will also call upon Prime Minister Modi at 1 p.m. on Tuesday, which will be followed by press statements and media interaction.
the United States of America is on election mode, a strong message and signal from Washington, D.C. that Indo-US ties are a continuum, that despite who comes to office in the United States of America, ties between the two countries are important and significant. Defense ministries and foreign ministries of both the countries are in conversation, more importantly to ensure that China is contained and expansionism of China is under control. With Abhishek Bhalla in New Delhi, Geeta Mohan for India Today.
So why is it of such great significance that these two heavyweights, very close aide of President Trump, are in India? Mind you, it's all happening just days before America goes to vote. In terms of the voting has already started. But let's take you through why is it so important for India? Number one, two top Trump administrative leaders in India before the US elections, like we just pointed out. Number two, the meeting amplifies substance of India-US ties, damages filth remark. Number three, long-standing foundational pact, BECA, to be signed after decades in discussion. Number four, affirms India's strategic value and geopolitical trust in tough new world. I want to connect right now to our Foreign Affairs editor, Geeta Mohan, who's getting us the very latest. Geeta, the meeting bilateral has begun between Dr. Jaishankar and Mr. Pompeo. But take us through now, what does the 2+2 agreement mean?
Well, Preeti, primarily, this is an agreement, this is a meeting and cooperation for mutual interest and mutual need. It's not just what India needs from the United States of America, but given the kind of scenario that the world has been put into post the COVID pandemic, it is also important to have India on America's side. And that's the reason why, despite the fact that elections just around the corner, top leadership of the Trump administration are in India. Like I said earlier, Preeti, this is a relationship of continuum, and therefore whoever comes to White House, irrespective, will continue to engage India at a time when they need to contain China. That is one perspective. Having said that, the two defense ministers met right now, even as we speak. The foreign ministerial meeting is going to begin in Hyderabad House between Pompeo and Jaishankar, where supply chains, the economic aspect also of the conversations between the two countries are going to be of major focus, while neither side is really going to focus and discuss the LAC situation, although we know that's the big elephant in the room, China. They are going to talk about all aspects on how to contain aggressive nations across the region, and China in particular. And that's the reason why, while we're talking about BECA and military engagement, we will also be talking about how to economically strengthen each other by having alternative supply chains. So supply chain resilience is going to be very important.
Right.
Sources tell us it's going to be signed, and Make in India is going to be the big thrust.
All right. Appreciate you joining us, Geeta. We're going to continue to come to you. Big day, important day tomorrow. We're going to keep a keen eye on all developments. Let me now quickly cut across to the other big developing story that we're tracking, and it's once again deja vu. It's Uddhav Thackeray versus none else but Kangana Ranaut. Why has it happened? Well, Uddhav Thackeray in his Dussehra speech had, of course, pointed out to stuff which Kangana Ranaut had said against Uddhav Thackeray, against his son Aditya Thackeray as well. On the other hand, the latest right now is that Kangana has slammed the Maharashtra Chief Minister's comparison of her home state Himachal to a ganja field. Uddhav, in his Dussehra speech, mocked Kangana's home state. A furious Kangana called the Chief Minister a petty person, accusing him of vilifying her state. This after Uddhav slammed Kangana, calling her Ravan face for labeling Mumbai POK. Kangana further added that Uddhav should be ashamed for using his power to insult and humiliate women who are as old as his son.
या महाराष्ट्राची जी संस्कृती आहे त्या महाराष्ट्राच्या संस्कृतीमध्ये आमच्या घराघरामध्ये तुळशी वृंदावनं आहेत, गांजाची वृंदावनं नाहीयेत. असं कोणतं पिक्चर आलं नाही की मैं गांजा तेरे घर का. हे तुमच्या घरात असेल, गांजाची शेती जिकडे असेल, कुठे आहे ते तुम्हाला माहिती आहे.
हिमाचल है जो कि मां पार्वती की जन्मभूमि है, उन्हें हिमाचल पुत्री कहा जाता है. लॉर्ड शिवा महादेव की कर्म भूमि है. आज भी कण कण में मां पार्वती और शिव यहाँ बसे हुए हैं. इसे देव भूमि कहा जाता है. इसके बारे में आपने इतनी ज्यादा तुच्छ बातें की हैं. एक चीफ मिनिस्टर होके आपने पूरी स्टेट को नीचे गिराया है क्योंकि आप सिर्फ एक लड़की से नाराज है और वो लड़की आपके बेटे की उम्र की.
हे एकूण असं चित्र म्हणजे मुंबई पाकव्याप्त काश्मीर आहे. महाराष्ट्र मुंबई पोलीस निकम्मे आहेत, ते काय काम करत नाहीये. इकडे सगळे नशिले आहेत, चरस गांजा इकडे उघड उघड विकला जातोय. हे असं सगळं चित्र करायचं त्यांना माहिती नाही अजून.
कल एक वर्किंग चीफ मिनिस्टर ने एक लड़के को सरेआम गाली दी, वो कुछ नहीं कहेंगे. चीफ मिनिस्टर, व्हाट आई वांट टू टेल यू इज कि सत्ताएं आती जाती हैं. आप सिर्फ एक गवर्नमेंट सर्वेंट है और महाराष्ट्र के लोग आपसे रेजोनेट नहीं करते हैं, वो आपसे खुश नहीं हैं. सत्ताएं आती जाती है, लेकिन जो इंसान एक बार सम्मान खो देता है चीफ मिनिस्टर, वो उसे नहीं पा सकता है.
All right, after that entire row in Bihar where the opposition took on the central government for putting that in the manifesto of the BJP that the COVID vaccine will be given free to people in Bihar, now it seems that the centre is going to give out the vaccine free to all citizens of the country. Union Minister of the State, Pratap Sarangi, on Sunday said that the government is on course to provide free vaccine to all Indians as per promise by the Prime Minister, adding that an estimate ₹500 will be spent on vaccination of each Indian. The announcement comes days after Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman promised to provide free vaccine for Bihar during the launch of the Saffron Party's manifesto. The announcement by the Finance Minister sparked a row, which I just mentioned, and at the back of it, it seems free vaccine would be rolled out whenever it's available for the entire citizens of the country. Later, states like Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Madhya Pradesh, Assam and Puducherry also announced free vaccination for their residents. All right, a continuing campaign on the right to breathe, especially where the national capital and other states and cities in North India are concerned. Well, the AQI quality in Delhi especially has fallen to an all-time low this particular season. Delhiites woke up to another foggy morning as air quality deteriorated. According to the Central Pollution Control Board, Delhi's overall quality is now in the very poor index. However, Anand Vihar recorded the worst air quality, which is severe. On Sunday, stubble burning in neighbouring states contributed to 19% of Delhi's pollution. According to health experts, the bad air is affecting the health of people and seriously impacting those with existing disease. At a level, it could even amplify the effects if somebody is suffering from coronavirus. Meanwhile, Delhi Centre has told the Supreme Court that it will issue an ordinance to regulate and monitor stubble burning. Welcome back. You're watching our Fact Check segment on 7 at 7, where we bust certain myths masquerading to be fact, especially in social media and WhatsApp groups. Now, there's a picture that's floating about. You might have seen it. Huge, massive crowds. It seemed to suggest it's from a Yogi Adityanath rally in Bihar. That's false. This image is from 2014, has nothing to do with Bihar, nothing to do with the rally or Mr. Yogi Adityanath. With that fact check, it's a wrap on 7 at 7. Do stay tuned. Up next is To The Point. Hi everyone, Preeti Chaudhary here. Hope you like this video. For latest news and analysis, like and subscribe to the India Today YouTube channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated. Thank you for watching.